Girl, you look so... Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. You have made it to how to become Sonny Angel Baby Monkey. If you too want to become Sonny Angel Baby Monkey, this video is for you. Whether it's for your costume, cosplay, Halloween, a convention, or your everyday office wear, I'm going to be teaching you how to make the Sonny Angel Baby Monkey hat and wings so you too can become the Sonny Angel Monkey. If you want to be a different Sonny Angel, you can also use this as a base video to kind of add your own ears or different kind of hat. The wings go whichever you want them to go, and this is all using materials I already have, but all of the patterns are linked below. If you need any help, just go ahead and comment and I'll be there to help. This is pretty straightforward, great for beginners. Even if you're new to sewing, it's pretty easy, a very novice kind of thing. Anything that is complicated, I'll talk you right through it, so don't be worried. But let's go ahead and get started with this video and stay tuned till the end for a little fashion show. All right, let's go. Here is a one size fits most trapper hat pattern that I have made. I'll link the video down below that I used to make this, but I recommend printing out the pattern that I have down there as well, just to make it easier on you. Once you have that all printed out, we're going to cut it onto our fabric. This fabric that I'm using is actually an old blanket that I've dyed brown, but it is just like a basic fleece. Something soft is really what you want to go for because we're not doing a lining, so you need it comfy against your head. Draw that onto the fabric, and then for the center part, do not make it a square. We're going to round those edges because this is going to be that curve that goes along your head. We're going to leave this as a raw edge. If you really wanted, you could put in the extra 5 seconds to make it a hem, but I kind of like the edge. It looks a little more cozy. Then we're going to add a 1/2 inch seam allowance all around and cut that out of your fabric. Now, I want you to pay attention to these 3 darts. We're actually going to ignore this center one for a little bit and focus here on the right. We're going to put the good sides together and fold these 2 triangle shapes to be touching. And so from the top of the triangles down all the way to that dart, all the way down to that bottom point. Here it is from a different angle. So the good sides are together and sewing from the tip down to the bottom of the dart. I am hand sewing here. I don't have a sewing machine, but if you had one, I do recommend it. It just takes a little bit more time to do it by hand. It's not any harder. I'm just doing a straight stitch on all of these. Should look something like this, and then we're going to repeat that on the other side. Good sides together, top of the triangle down to the bottom of the dart. Once you do that, it should look something like this, and now we'll come back to that center triangle dart. We're going to fold the good sides together once again, so the whole thing will kind of come together. And you should start to see a resemblance to a hat shape here. We're going to sew from the back of the hat all the way to the front. Being sure to keep those seam allowances flat. If you're using a sewing machine, you really want to keep an eye at this point, just so you don't get it stuck or jammed. You want to keep those open and flat so that way the hat sits a little softer on the top of the head and you don't have like that little cone head pointed top. At this point, I tried on the hat, and I did think that the front was sitting a little low on the face, so I decided to bring that up a little bit. I recommend trying on the hat at this point because it may be a little strange looking, so you just gotta double check. Now you have completed the base of your hat. If you were doing a different Sonny Angel at this point, you would add on a different ear, but we're gonna do the monkey ears. So here is the pattern. This is again linked below. I'm using 2 different colors of fabric, one for the front of the ear and one for the back. This is optional, but it really adds a nice dimension. So I'm cutting out 2 pieces from that tan fabric and 2 from the brown. Now this is a little bit of a flimsier fabric, so I'm gonna bring in this, which is a little thicker fleece, to use as like a structure stability in the middle. Doesn't really matter the color or texture of it because it's going to be inside the ear again for that structure. So I'm going to cut again 2 of the pattern from this as well. Also adding a seam allowance on all of these. Then you will go ahead and cut that out of all of your fabrics. You'll have a stability in inside, 2 front of the ears, and 2 back of the ears. Now you want to pay close attention to this next point because it's very easy to mess up. You're going to stack them with the stability inside first, good side facing up. Then take the front of the ear, good side facing up. Then sandwich it with the back of the ear, good side facing down. Your little sandwich should go pink, tan, brown, if you're using those colors. Again, let's do it. We're gonna go stability with the good side up, the front of your ear with the good side up, and the back of the ear with the good side down. I decided to pin these just so everything stays put. Similar with the hat, this is a lot of fabric to go through, so if you are using a machine, be careful and use something of a similar thickness to kind of shield that foot. If you're using a needle and thread, you'd probably want to use a thimble. We're going to sew all around the edge, leaving a 1-inch opening, that way we can flip it right side out. Be sure as you're sewing this to get all 3 layers in every stitch, and use a thimble if you need to. Once you flip it inside out, it should look something like this. Repeat for the other ear and sew close that 1 inch. Now we're gonna add a decorative stitch. This is optional, but I think it really adds that je ne sais quoi. Just a simple stitch along only that front side. Now we're going to connect the hat to the ears. At the bottom of the dart is where I'm going to put the top of each ear, just for reference. I am also going to be pinching the center part of the ear. You kind of have to just look for this because it's kind of hard to explain. But pinching and adding almost a dart for a little bit more of a cutesy, cartoony, round look. It also, I find, keeps the ears sitting up straighter. That way you don't have to worry about it folding back or kind of falling over. And then repeat the same on the other side as well. While you're doing this, again, you may need a thimble because it's a lot of fabric to go through, but be sure to sew not only the front of the ear down, but also the back, so it all sticks up straight and beautiful. You could stop here, but I'm gonna go ahead and add a closure. That way it sits flat against the neck. I'm using a button. You can use Velcro, snaps, hook and eye clasp. You could use a safety pin if you want it temporary. But I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on the inside so it's a little bit of a hidden button. And cut a little opening for the pull through on the other side. Should look something like this if you are using the button. And there you have it. You have just made your little Sonny Angel monkey hat. Now let's move on to the wings. I again am using some poly fleece fabric of the white category. This already has a seam allowance on it, but you're gonna cut out 4 of these. Good sides facing together. We're gonna go ahead and sew all around the edge, leaving a 1-inch opening, again to flip right side out afterwards. Once you sew them, go ahead and stuff them with any kind of stuffing you want. I just used some from a stuffed animal. And then for the elastic, I just decided to use some old party hats, but you can buy real elastic or you can even use ribbon if you wanted. It should look something like this. And I decided to sew them together as well, just for stability. Now you have your hat and wings. If you want to do the rest of the outfit, you can do a nude bodysuit, you can do nude, you can do your regular clothes, you can do brown, you can do whatever you want to do. It's very much dealer's choice.
No!